Across the world, people are marking 50 years since the fall of Saigon and the end of the Vietnam War. More than 58,000 Americans and millions of Vietnamese lives were lost in that conflict. Well, this was the scene in the Vietnamese capital of Ho Chi Minh City, formerly known as Saigon, and a large military parade featuring a whole lot of pomp and circumstance. Here in the Bay Area, a historic Huey helicopter that made its way over San Jose City Hall. Those helicopters, of course, were the workforce of the U.S. military flying countless missions during the Vietnam War. And here's a live look inside San Jose City Hall, where a group called Vietnamese American Roundtable is holding commemorations of that event, also known as Black April. And earlier in the day, community members gathered at the Vietnamese American Service Center on Center Road. They shared personal stories about the impact of the war half a century later.
This is more than just a commemoration of history. It's personal, it's emotional, and for so many of us, it's a reflection of the stories carried with our families, stories of loss, of sacrifice, of escape, and of starting over with nothing but hope in a new land.
And San Jose, right here in the Bay Area, is the proud home of the largest Vietnamese population in the world outside of Vietnam. Len Ramirez explains how the Vietnamese American Service Center is making them feel more at home.
The joy of music and dance in a safe and supportive place. It's a Saturday afternoon at the Vietnamese American Service Center, known as the VASC, and this beginning ballroom dance class is filled with men and women like Yvonne Huang, a former refugee now enjoying a carefree twirl to the beat of the cha-cha-cha.
The first facility for Vietnamese. So I was curious. So that's why I become the member. And the people in here very nice. They can help anyone, anytime. Even if they cannot speak English, they can help.
And that's the whole idea behind the VASC, according to Santa Clara County Supervisor Betty Young, the first supervisor of Vietnamese descent and the center's first program manager and one of its planners.
As a county supervisor, my mission is to preserve and expand these services because I know what they can provide. I know what results can be produced.
Betty was born in San Jose to parents who escaped Vietnam in the middle of the night on a small boat.
This is not an actual photo of my parents, but they were on a boat very much like this. Half of these boats drowned at sea. Half of them made it.
The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees estimates that as many as 400,000 Vietnamese refugees died at sea. Betty's parents made it to a remote island, and then a refugee program helped them resettle in San Jose. They took jobs waiting tables and later in tech manufacturing, which helped the family grow along with Silicon Valley in the 1980s. Betty, who learned English in school, was the family's translator, even though she was just a child.
I remember all this because I was translating and helping them fill out their job applications.
Her family's experience and hardships are a big reason why she helped lead the effort to create the VASC, which provides culturally relevant services in Vietnamese, English, and Spanish, including a range of educational, health programs, and wellness counseling.
50 years later, there's still a lot of unresolved trauma. And you know, we know now, and I know from working at the county, that unresolved trauma becomes generational trauma. The conversation that happens a lot lately in recent years around the commemoration of the fall of Saigon is, where do we go from here? In the act of remembrance and in the act of memorializing, how do we then shape our future, paying honor to this heritage and history, but also being able to grow our community and grow ourselves in a healthy way with well-being being centered at it.
Although there is still a lot of sadness around what Vietnamese Americans refer to as Black April, many like Yvonne now have a helping hand in moving forward with the rest of their lives.
Yes, that changed very huge chapter of my life.
And although their history is something they will never forget, the community is building the future, both for the former refugees and the generations yet to come.